All right, Trump is moving his upcoming rally. It's a big outdoor rally in Wisconsin now, forced to move it to a smaller indoor venue. And now we're learning why. Fox News is told that the Secret Service is shorthanded. Why? Well, because they have to protect all those diplomats at the UN General Assembly, the ones who hate us. They have to provide security for all the foreign dignitaries while they're here in the United States. That includes countries like Iran. And that means the Secret Service can't protect Trump because they're busy protecting leaders of a country that might want to plot to kill him. Let that sink in. Joining me now, Tulsi Gabbard, former congresswoman and member of Trump's transition team. Tulsi, apparently this administration's America Last policies now extend to the Secret Service. We seem to be prioritizing foreign dignitaries over perhaps the next president of the United States. How is that going to sit with the public?
Laura, you're right. This is exactly the latest example of America Last, and that shows the choice that we have between President Trump's America First policies and Kamala Harris's America Last policies, and we're suffering the consequences of those. The question is, who benefits from this decision? As you said, President Trump had to move to a much smaller venue, means he has much fewer people who can go in and hear him speak in a critical state like Wisconsin. Kamala Harris benefits from this decision that's coming from their administration, limiting his ability to reach people in a very critical time. How is this not election interference when Kamala Harris is the Democratic nominee running for president? And secondly, you have President Biden going out and announcing another $8 billion that he's going to give to Zelensky and his cronies in Ukraine, as we have the VA telling us they don't have enough money to take care of our veterans. We have soldiers living in moldy barracks. We have families in my home state of Hawaii who are still displaced from that Maui fire that happened well over a year ago. I don't know how they look at the American people, both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, and continue to lie and say, oh, you know, I love my country and we're going to work for you, when their actions tell us the exact opposite.
Well, and Tulsi, we're learning that, and the Angle will be there at the second Butler rally, which is going to take place next Saturday. Can we be confident that former President Trump will be protected there, given this Wisconsin move? I mean, that's a big rally for him, to finish the rally that he started on July 13th. Will that happen?
It's a special and powerful show of resilience and show of strength and fortitude on President Trump's part, first of all, and his commitment to the people there in Butler, Pennsylvania. All eyes are going to be on that rally. We will see what the Harris-Biden administration does. I remain very concerned because clearly, time after time, there have been multiple attempts on President Trump's life at this point, and the fact that still they are making other priorities other than his safety and security should not allow any one of us to rest in complacency.
And Tulsi, you mentioned the issue with Kamala Harris and Zelensky. And obviously that looks so political today, trying to make her, build up her foreign policy cred, her military, commander-in-chief cred. But I've never heard an American president, not since, for decades, when the Soviet Union was a direct threat to the United States, sound as bellicose toward a nuclear power as she did today. I wonder if you could comment on that and how dangerous of a moment this is with this future escalation of the situation in Ukraine.
It's the most dangerous moment of our lives, Laura. We cannot understate the seriousness of the position that we are in, directly because of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's foreign policy and their action, their decisions. Kamala Harris is wholly unfit to be our commander-in-chief. She clearly doesn't know that we have service members in combat zones at war today, putting their lives on the line. She clearly does not understand or care about the serious consequences of what nuclear Armageddon would mean for all of us, all of the American people and humanity in the world. And she is joined by many neocons in doing so. And lastly, in that bellicose language, Laura, she is continuing to lie to the American people, saying, oh, first, Russia, first it's Ukraine, and then it's the Baltic countries, and then it's Poland, and then it's all of these other countries, and they want to take over the entire, former Soviet Union all over. There's no proof of this. There's no evidence of this. This is her spouting the talking points coming from the military-industrial complex, who wants to continue to see Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney, who want to continue to see billions of our taxpayer dollars taken out of the pockets of the American people and fed into these massive defense corporations and those who are profiting from war. Never mind the fact that the American people are continuing to suffer, and never mind the fact that they are escalating this war that is killing people and puts us in greater risk.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands dead, and we're broke. Other than that, Tulsi, thank you so much.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.